Good morning, traders. Russell Sandiford here for your morning market update for easyMarkets. The markets were expectedly a little bit quiet in most regards to start this week, with nothing on yesterday's data and event risk calendar at all. So there were still some big movers in the market. I'll quickly recap some of the big movers because we did have some interesting talking points here that will set us up for the rest of the week. So, look, Monday was always supposed to be quiet, but there's a lot of action happening starting from today. The first point is that US 10-year Treasury is absolutely quiet as a mouse yesterday, unchanged around that 2.38%. That wasn't really reflected here in the gold chart. You can see on screen that 4-hour gold chart saw the slide move from around 1250 or 1248 yesterday when I was writing my analysis back down to basically 1240. So it's had a small bounce since then, a very minor bounce, but definitely some ominous signs there in the gold slide as we approach this very important Thursday or Wednesday night Thursday leading into the US inflation Wednesday evening just after midnight for the Sydney siders, and of course the very well telegraphed interest rate hike on Thursday morning Sydney time. Now again, that's gold. There are some other really big movers. The new announced RBNZ Fed chair gave the Kiwi a decent lift. That's a Kiwi dollar on screen. So the Kiwi moved from around that 68.40 level where it was happy enough after settling down from non-farms Friday. So you can see this spike on screen here. That was your non-farms when the wage growth missed on Friday. Then we saw a bump in new jobs added, so it came back to earth. Again, it was sideways around this 68.40 for most of yesterday, most of the all three trading sessions, until whoosh this morning. That news of him coming in, Adrian Orr coming in for the RBNZ, gave it a real lift of almost a whole big figure there. So it does look slightly bullish. For traders looking to trade a cross pair this morning, as we get into the late morning here in the Asian session, the Aussie Kiwi might provide an interesting opportunity. Before I show you Aussie Kiwi, the Aussie is on the slide. Okay, so we've got the Kiwi driving high and the Aussie's on the slide here. I just sold a little bit more of the Aussie this morning because for mine that does look like one of the best trades to play out for the rest of this year, as it looks to maybe make a run back to that 74.5 level. I would not be surprised at all if it's back around 74.50 very quickly. Now, how does that look on the cross of Aussie Kiwi? 108.80 is under pressure. That's a weekly chart. If we jump back to the daily, it's under extreme pressure where it was comfortable around this block here. See this level around the band, I guess you could say, around capped at 111, but firmly inside that 110, 111 range, and then pow, it's punched below that and certainly looks again like it could keep punching even lower still from here. I was reading some interesting commentary this morning where we've got some various opinions on the Kiwi. So if that plays out to be true and we do see some Kiwi dollar strength, then again this Aussie Kiwi pair is going to take a real catapult lower. Where can it land is anyone's guess, but their support levels don't really kick in until I would say something in the region of 107.5. But look, I'll do a live trading demonstration tomorrow night to give updates that are a little bit clearer there. If you can see that line on the chart at the moment, 107.40, certainly looks like it's in play, which is a solid trade from where we sit at the moment. Now, just getting away from the Aussie and the Kiwi, changing it up a little bit here, going back to the Euro. ECB Draghi does speak at 6 a.m. tomorrow, but really that's not supposed to be groundbreaking. That's just a speech at an event there in Europe. And it is a precursor, of course, to the big ECB later on in the week. That is likely, in my opinion, to be one that drags the Euro back. So I've got short positions on the Euro looking for a move back to 117. That in itself, we've had a lot of action across the board. Not in every pair though. Dollar CAD, for example, absolutely sideways at 128.5. Dollar Yen, same story. Very, very quiet. It's basically unmoved, much like that US 10-year. It's unmoved there at 113.50 on Dollar Yen. So tonight is really we kick off the whole week. Okay, where we really start is on the sterling. The sterling CPI is just on or after the London Open this evening, so 8:30 p.m. if you're in Sydney. For mine, I think sterling can move higher. I think the Brexit story is very wobbly, and the negative headlines in the last 24 hours really did hurt that sentiment. 1 minute we were at 134.20. The next minute, whoosh, we're at 133.5. So very, very quick to move here. Very knee-jerky, the sterling. I like that. That's a daily chart, guys. I like that sterling against the greenback to find its feet, find its recovery feet, that is, and get back towards that 136 target that I've been gibbering on about for some time. There are other pairs that will see a lot more trading range towards the end of the week, because remember, this is the week for the US rate hike. This is the ECB and Bank of England. The Swissy, it's all happening. It's a very, very, very data-rich week. So be very careful if you're trading. If you're looking to other markets, copper has come alive again, finally finding its way back to, that's not a 4-hour chart. That's a 4-hour chart. Finally finding its way back above that 3. From here, I love it to get back up. I haven't bought some just yet, but I think it can make another run towards these levels that we were so familiar with, around 306-ish. Even right up to 308, 310 is very possible. 3011 is that red line on screen. Not ridiculous to see copper fill this gap. So a move from 3 to 308 is big percentage-wise. So again, guys, keep your eyes on copper. I don't think that will help or stop the Aussie sliding lower, but definitely keep your eyes on that copper price if you're looking for something specky. Because look, overnight, basically stocks edged a bit higher. We did see the S&P and the Nasdaq were pretty solid. Oil's found its way back to 58 as well, which is interesting. So that's a wild market as well. And look, last but not least is for the Bitcoin traders. Yesterday being the first day, of course, with the live CBOE futures. Now, there were some outages which did not help trading for the first day there on Bitcoin futures. But the near month, the 1 month futures are trading around that 17,800 level. We're showing, I guess, what you'd call spot Bitcoin, which is the current level. Obviously, they're just under that 16,400. I'm not calling a reversal at the moment. I think after yesterday's price action, it was very tentative, quiet in terms of Bitcoin's potential. So for mine, it's a bull story. I think it can run and will run to 20,000. From there, I think we'll see that over the coming 10 days. From there, I think we'll see a lot of profit taking. You never know what happens, though. Maybe some orders slide through and it runs higher. I'm not seeing that. I think it will get to 20,000 and then see a pretty sharp pullback and sharp profit taking. Not too dissimilar than what you can see on the chart here that we saw basically on Friday and the weekend. So keep your powder dry on Bitcoin. You need to under-trade your account so that you can perhaps withstand these pullbacks and let your trades breathe. That's my opinion on how to maybe approach Bitcoin a bit more wisely than some. As always, stay nimble because there's a lot of opportunities coming. Again, starting tonight with that sterling CPI, but you've got data happening on all key pairs. Would not be surprised if dollar yen's back above 114 very soon. So that's another trade that I'm looking at as well. But if you guys need a hand or need clarification on any markets we offer, please always feel free to simply come through to us here on the dealing desk.